Hello out there. We're on the air. It's baseball night tonight. The tension grows. Fernando flows, and the ball goes out of sight. The catcher jumps, and the players bump, and the Mets fans, they go insane. Rich Grisham roars. Mookie Wilson scores. At the good old baseball game. Oh, the OOTP game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the OOTP game. Welcome. Aloha, Honolulu. Bienvenue. Bonjour to France. Good day, mate, to those of you in Australia. And how's it going, to my Canadians? Thanks, y'all, Americans, for showing up. We have people from all over North America, Europe, parts of Asia. Welcome into the stream today. Boy, do we have a lot to talk about in this hour because, yes, it is the Streamathon. The Streamathon is now officially underway where you are going to get 33 plus hours of streaming. So howdy to those of you in Texas. And hope the weather's good for you, Hillside Robin. You got to put in the place that you want the weather forecast from. But guys, we have so much to cover today. I'm going to go through a few intro things. If you seen on the Discord or seen on Twitter, the affiliate Streamathon and the schedule that we have lined up for you with the affiliates, we have a full jam-packed 33 or more hours all the way up until tomorrow night, ending off with the FKN Commish LB and his show that he does a wonderful job with. If you are new to the stream, I am Laptop Hound. Been streaming since about September. I stream Monday, Tuesdays, and Thursdays at around this time. So if you're new to OOTP, if you stumbled across this Twitch channel, well, welcome in. You are amongst the best community members in the gaming world. They will embrace you, they will help you, they will support you, and yeah, they will compete with you along the way as well. And if you do not know what OOTP is, well, what are you waiting for? Go check it out. You can get OOTP now. The latest version just came out about a month ago. Go check it out on the website. You can get it for the PC, you can get it for the Mac, you can get it for Steam, and many other things with a link that I just posted down below. And yeah, if you want to save a little bit of coin, if you want to save a couple loonies, or whatever you may call them in Poland or in Germany, apply the code LaptopHound67 and you can save on the different bundles and on the different games as well. So go check that out with the link and the code LaptopHound24. Also, if you need to get acquainted with the game, if you're new, because I like to help the new people out getting started. I was new at one point. Everyone here was new to OOTP. If you want to learn a little bit more about the game before you delve into it, check out the OOTPdevelopment.com website. And hey, did you hear the news last week? It is on the go. OOTP Go. You can now play this in the car, on the airplane. You can play franchise. You can play a historical game. You can play a fictional game. And yes, you can play Perfect Team anywhere. Download it on the Apple Store, on the Google Play Store. Get OOTP Go. When DishNet announced this last week at noon, within the hour, I had this downloaded on my device. It is a must complimentary resource to the base game. And where can I find out more information about OOTP? Well, I'm glad you asked. OOTP, you can go to the Twitter account and you can check out OOTP Perfect Team. They have a Twitter page there. And if you just want more baseball and kind of regular OOTP, you can check out their other Twitter page. So 2 Twitter pages for OOTP, the Perfect Team one, and just kind of the out of the park baseball one. And hey, you can get the latest updates like this. Look at this. We have a limited edition 96 Mark Burley card, White Sox legend, even played for my Blue Jays towards the end of his career. 96 limited out of 25. Get them now. Open those packs. Get yourself a Mark Burley. And tomorrow, you don't want to miss the new releases, new cards being released, noontime Eastern. And you can catch that with Dishnet, Rob Tomlinson at noon on Thursday. And right after, I will be on with your kidneys with the Hawk Reports, Hounds analysis with kidneys, and we will look at the cards that were released and how they may or may not play into your perfect team. And one more thing before we get started with the program, there will be a giveaway at the end of the hour. I will be giving away some packs. I will be giving away an OOTP 24 game code thanks to OOTP Out of the Park Developments, Com2 US. Thank you for everyone involved with OOTP for allowing not just myself, but all the affiliates throughout this streamathon. Yes, you heard it right. All the affiliates over the next 30 plus hours will be doing giveaways on their streams. Packs, game codes. Woo! I'm exhausted already, and we just started. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Over 250 of you here watching the beginning to the streamathon marathon. I thank you guys. You guys are simply the best. All right. With the Hawk Report tomorrow at noon, we will also be getting back to our generational showdown. Yes, if you tuned into the last couple episodes, your kidneys and I have a little friendly wager where the loser of this showdown is going to have to do something on stream. But I can't tell you what quite yet. And we've had a couple episodes of that, and the Gen X crowd is leading to nothing. So hopefully, well, not hopefully, because I want to win this, but maybe for you Zoomers out there, kidneys can represent the Zoomer crowd a little better tomorrow, because the first two, he was a little weak on his pack openings. So again, welcome guys. If you're just tuning in, this is the OOTP 24 affiliate streamathon. Good to have you here. All right, I'm going to bring in some special guests here to the program. Let's give a warm welcome. First of all, you know this streamer for his cats, for his bronze card analysis tourneys, for his pack openings. Let's welcome in the one, the only I Rock to the show. I Rock this. He will be one of the affiliates streaming, and also from my Canadian homeland, except out east, where they cheer, for the Maple Leafs and the Canadians. But it's okay. I will bring Tetsuiji on, the man with the voice. He will be streaming as well throughout the streamathon. And that's not it. We have more. We don't just have the young guys on the stream. We have some old fellers too. We've got EVC, except it's not EVC in NYC. It's EVC in CHI. Because yes, EVC will be broadcasting from Chicago today and catching a few Cubs games, I hear. Also,
I'm a noted old guy?
Well, dye the hair maybe, and you can fit in with Tessa.
Oh, come on. Okay. Do I need to shave the beard maybe?
No.
No, the beard's fine. This didn't used to have gray in it. Long story.
Let's just put it this way, guys.
For the beginning of quarantine, it was just nasty.
We've got like two different timelines. We've got the young Tetsuiji and we've got the old Tetsuiji right there on screen, right beside each other. Or the young EVC and the old. Look at side by side. Doesn't that look like about a 60-year gap in age between the two?
I wouldn't say 60.
This is making me uncomfortable.
Wait a second.
I'm just kidding. And unfortunately, the camera's not working. But you know him for his stories, you know him for his Cincinnati connection. We have Gorgo, who will be taking over from me in just under an hour. Gorgo will be one of the affiliates. So welcome, Gorgo 2005. And another without the camera, Exto 4S. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but we have Exto here. And Exto, great with the card analysis, great with setting up some tournaments and cards that you should use and crunching numbers and different cap teams. So Exto will be part of the Streamathon too. And let me just double check. Oh yeah. We've got another special guest here. I'd like you to welcome the one, the only, Rich Grisham. Yes, Rich Grisham has made it to the program. So thank you so much, Rich, for being part of this opening segment of the Streamathon. And we'll get to some questions for Rich a little bit later, maybe even some of the panel. Some of the affiliates might have some questions for Rich. But Rich, thank you for tuning in.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah. Gorgo, I know Gorgo has to leave because he's got to get set up for his stream. So I'm going to just quickly start with Gorgo. And Gorgo, what can the Streamathon crowd expect from your stream today? What would you like to say to those tuning in for our opening segment here? Yes.
Rich is walking over to help Gorgo out right now.
If only we had a professional who could help him out.
I'm wondering why there's like this phase, this foggy haze in my room. I don't see it in real life, but I see it on the stream, so I'm like now very concerned.
I'm just feeling a little cramped with the two logos here. There I am. This is why I don't show my face, people.
We cramped in. All right. Well,
Talk it out anyway.
We'll see if Gorgo can reconnect and maybe we can get a better connection with Gorgo. So,
Okay,
Gorgo,
how about that?
Hey,
There we go.
There we
How
go.
about that? Okay, good. All right, I had to disconnect from Laptop Hound's stream in order to make this thing work. I had one browser tab going with this software that's pulling us all into one place, and also I had Twitch running right next to it, and they were conflicting with each other. So I had to kick off Twitch and stop picking up drops of all the crazy. So anyway,
he's so short on drops today.
okay, yeah, yeah, I know, exactly. But anyway, what we're going to be looking forward to is the usual Wednesday shenanigans from the old fart on this end. And speaking of old, yes, I will be hitting the 70th completion of my trips around the sun next month. So we will see about that perhaps a little later. But anyway, there will be, as Laptop Hound has already said, we're going to be giving away 20 standard packs in a giveaway today, and we'll also be giving away a game key. So everybody will have a chance that's in the channel to enter the drawing and get yourself a choice of game keys. You can get one of any of the three choices. You have a Steam key that you could get. You got a PC license you can get, or you can get a Mac license for your Mac computer. Have your choice of those three, and we will be hooking up with you to get your email address. That's how I'm going to use. That's what I'm going to use to stay in contact with winners. On the Steam key, or I'm sorry, on the game keys anyway, is via email. But on the packs, we're going to do our usual stuff, and I'll be asking through a Twitch whisper what your OOTP account number is that you want to have your packs awarded to. So we'll take care of it through two different channels: the Twitch whisper for the packs, and I'll need to communicate with you privately to get your email address. Okay. And we'll do that either through Twitch Whisper or Discord DM or something of that nature. We'll work it out during the stream. And other than that, I mean, we'll have close to 80 packs to open up today. So we're going to be opening packs. And we're going to be, let's see for a second, opening packs. And, taking a look at my main team to see how they're doing. They had a really, really crazy reversal of fortune between Monday and Tuesday, and so far on Wednesday we're kind of holding steady. So anyway, we're going to see how we do with the team, and then we'll open the packs, and then we'll have our giveaways, and then we'll see if there's time for anything else at the very, very end of things before we hand the ball off to EVC in NYC, the gentleman that, at least on my screen anyway, is in my upper right-hand corner up there, just waved at you. Yes.
Playing tic-tac-toe right now?
No, it's actually Hollywood Squares. There, I rock this.
I thought it was one of those like shifting square puzzles where we form a complete picture once you've built us all together.
Yeah. No,
Playing Paul Lynn is now Test Luigi in this episode.
I understand that reference.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you, Gorgo, for popping in. I know you have a lot to prepare for, and
Right.
wanted to make sure you got on stream today. So thank you so much. We look forward to your stream in less than an hour. If you do not follow Gorgo already, let me put him in the chat here right now. Go click on that link right now. Click it. Click follow, and then come back right here. Just hit the back button on your browser. Don't miss Gorgo's stream today in less than an hour. All right.
Okay. Thanks,
See you later,
everybody.
Gorgo.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Cheers.
All right.
Bye, Gorgo.
Well, when one streamer leaves, another one shows up, and I like to thank the pizza guy. We've got pizza guys. Hey,
Hello.
we've got delivery. We've got the pizza. Okay, how you doing, kiddies? Good to see you, Meg. I see you posting in the chat there. Before we get to the individual streamers, I want to get Gorgo first, but let's talk with Mr. Grisham a little bit here. Rich Grisham, of course, a legend in the community and a guy that I listen to all the podcasts that come out. Last one was March the 9th. So I'm going to ask you, Rich, is one coming soon? Do we have another podcast coming soon that we can download and listen to?
Yes, there will be one this week, and there will be at least one next week. You know, one of the many things, I love watching your streams, and one of the many things that it does is it shames me every single time you do it, because you're like, I love this podcast, and you haven't had one for a while. So, and every time I see it here, then I'm like, oh man, I gotta, you know, and it's not for lack of wanting to. It's just, you know, we've been a little busy launching a few products, and it's been a little tough. But yeah, we'll have one this week and next week, and we look to have our typical once a week cadence going on a regular basis.
Yes, obviously, very busy with the startup of a new game, and again, I just love listening to it. Love listening to it on the road when I'm traveling.
Thank you.
It's great. I mean, you talk with the developers, you talk with the content creators, and it's that, you know, little extra that we don't get on Discord, we don't get on, you know, streaming and things like that. It's that little deeper base knowledge about the game that maybe we wouldn't pick up anywhere else. So thank you so much for putting those together. We have an alarm.
That's not me.
EDC's not even in NYC.
Apologies, it's been fire alarm testing for yesterday and today. I'm losing my marbles.
All right, that's okay. All right, Rich, I have to ask you.
Yeah.
You know, most of us know you from, you know, many versions of the game, and you know you've been with OOTP for a while, and you know your biography isn't quite written yet. But when it is, the chapter about your involvement with OOTP, how will it start out? What was your origin story getting involved with Out of the Park Developments for those that are new to the game?
So, okay, I'm going to try to make this crisp and concise. For many years, I had a side job working in the video games media. I went to an E3, I'm going to say in like 2002 or 2003. I was working for a very large consulting company at the time, and if you've ever worked for a very large consulting company, it can be pretty challenging in terms of travel and time that needs to be spent doing things. So I went to E3 to sort of explore if there were any opportunities for a guy like me in the video game space, because I didn't know anyone. I had no contacts. I was just a guy who loved to play sports video games mostly in my spare time. And so I went there, and I wound up, meeting a bunch of people. And one of the things that I learned pretty quickly was I didn't want to work in video game development because it was even harder than working at a very large consulting company. In chatting with a bunch of the people who were all completely exhausted and pretty grumpy most of the time. It's like, oh, interesting. But I also met a few people who worked in the games media, and I struck up a friendship with a couple of them. And a few months later, I got an offer to write a review for a brand new website at the time called Games Radar of a Tiger Woods golf game. So very long story short, I submitted the review. It went well. And for, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 years, I was the sports video game guy for Games Radar. I pretty much reviewed all of the console sports video games that came out. And I also was a big, and still am, a big fan of podcasts. And just like I had no idea how to write a video game review, I had no idea how to do a podcast, but I wanted to do one. So I started one at Games Radar called Box Score, and it was me interviewing people who made sports video games, the guys who made Madden, the guys who made NBA 2K, the show, all of those. And it did pretty well. But ultimately, Games Radar, like all media properties, went through a series of transformations, and I wound up getting told that they weren't going to have the podcast anymore. I was having so much fun doing it that I decided to do my own independent one called the Press Row Podcast, which to this day still exists. And I continued to talk with sports video game developers and makers. And at one point, in the year, I don't know, could be 2010, could be 2015, don't know. I chatted with some of the guys from Out of the Park Baseball, and I got to know them. And I ultimately struck up a relationship with Marcus, who was the CEO and still is the leader of the group. And at a certain point in time, the PR person who I was talking with reached out to me and said, "Hey, do you know anyone who'd be interested in doing PR for Out of the Park Baseball?" And I had a really solid full-time job at the time, but I also recognized that when you're given an opportunity, it's a bad idea to say no, because you never know if you're going to be given that opportunity again. So I got together with a few of my friends that I had met along the way with the podcast and online leagues and things like that. TJ Lauerman, for one. Adam from the Franchise Hockey Manager team for another, and a fellow named Mike Suzek, who is out and about these days making video games. A fellow named Corey Andrus, who's bounced around from a lot of the big games company, and a few others. And I told Marcus, I've got an idea. How about you hire my group of guys, and we'll all do very specialized things. I'll handle some of the marketing. We'll have TJ do some streaming, which at the time, live streaming, I was told by multiple people, you cannot stream Out of the Park Baseball. It's a spreadsheet. Nobody will watch it. And luckily, I ignored all those people. And I said, "Sir, how about we get a marketing guy? We for the price of one person, you'll get a marketing guy, you'll get a streaming guy, you'll get a social media guy, you'll get a digital marketing guy." And so for about 3 years, that was what we did. We all collaborated every single day, and we sort of brought Out of the Park Baseball into the modern era of streaming and social media and digital advertising. And then that was part-time for a bunch of years. And then in the fall of 2019, I joined the company full-time. Talk about taking a risk, leaving a very steady, well-paying sales operational role, and joined full-time, only to be acquired less than a year later. And so it's never, 1 year is never the same as the year before, but that's a very long-winded story, but that's how I got here. Wherever I am, that's how I got here.
Well, it's always cool again to hear the origin story of a lot of the people from the OOTP development team that, they work so hard and you don't really know kind of their background story. And, I'm reading some things in the chat and some people I think I may have come across you in this game or in that game or on that podcast. So, people kind of can make connections and in the past may have come across you, crossed your path at some point in time. Next question I have, Rich, is every iteration of OOTP has something unique, something that puts its stamp on that version of the game. In 19, of course, it was Perfect Team. A couple years ago, it was the revamped card shop. What would you say? And I know you can't give away a lot of things coming up, but knowing what you know about the roadmap ahead, what do you think will be the stamp on this version when we look back 5 years from now? We will say OOTP 24 was known for what?
I think OOTP 24 is going to be known for its overall polish. It's really, in my opinion, the most complete version of Out of the Park yet. In that, like, you know, I stream a couple nights a week now, and when I'm playing the in-game, the 3D, I'm just continuously surprised and delighted with how it looks, especially when you compare it to 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. I'm really, really impressed, frankly, with the steadiness of the live services. I don't know if anybody remembers last year, but there were a few problems occasionally with the with the stability of the live services, and this year has been very smooth. And I also think the variety of things that you can do, there's more than ever that you can do in Out of the Park baseball, from doing live starts for both MLB and KBO, you know, from playing Perfect Draft or tournaments or the league play, or coming soon Perfect Team Live. There's a lot that's in this game, but it's polish and variety, I think, is what I'm going to remember for it. And, you know, coming off a year where we didn't have that polish, it's really, I can breathe a sigh of relief at, you know, when you know how much effort goes into putting something like this together with a very small group of people, being able to pull off something like that is, you know, I'm eternally surprised at how much we can do with how few people. And I'm also eternally embarrassed with so many of the things that I used to say back when I was in the games press. You know, like, there's nothing like being part of a development team to make you realize that when you're talking about video game development from the outside 10, 15 years ago, you sound like you know what you're saying, and it turns out you had no idea what you were talking about.
Oh, I never have any idea what I'm saying.
Yeah, don't we all just kind of wing it? And, all right, one last question for me, Rich, and then I'll see if any of the other affiliates have any questions for you. But of course, you love baseball. You wouldn't be in this if you didn't like baseball. What would you say is your fondest, as a child, teenager, fondest baseball memory? Because usually those are the ones that make the biggest impression on us when we were younger. Do you have one from your childhood that stands out?
Well, I have of a few, but I'll put them together quickly, right? So when I was a kid, we didn't have cable TV, and living in central New Jersey, you're sort of between the New York City and the Philadelphia markets, right? So I didn't get to see the Mets a whole lot. But one summer I went to my grandparents, who lived in in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and they had WGN on their cable. And I will never forget watching a doubleheader in Chicago in 1984, where the Mets got swept. There was a big brawl, and I heard this weird voice calling the game. It was like, "Hey, let's go! Let's got them out there, folks!" I'm like, "What is this madness? Who is this strange person calling this game?" You know, my first exposure to Harry Carey as a very young person was that seared in my brain. That, along with a couple of years later, in 1985, when the Mets had a chance to win the NL East and won the first 2 games of a series against the Cardinals, and then lost the last game and to lose the pennant, combined with, in 1986, Game 6 of the World Series at like 1:30 in the morning, sitting in my parents' house in the dark when the ball went through Bill Buckner's legs, and I jumped up in complete silence because I couldn't wake up my parents. That would be bad. And I was like screaming and jumping in complete silence, followed by 3 days later when I skipped school and I went to the World Series parade, which, as every year goes by without the Mets winning a World Series, that very poor decision looks smarter and smarter. So those events, you know, in order, kind of crystallized my passion and love for baseball.
Cool. Yeah. The 1980s Mets, the good, the bad, and the ugly, I guess, with that team in the 1980s.
No doubt.
Any of the affiliates, anyone have a question for Rich while we've got him here?
I got one. It is bottom of the ninth. Your team is clinging to a top of the ninth. Your team is clinging to a 1-run lead. What's the music you're coming out of the bullpen to slam the door and close out the game with? Because I know you're a big music fan. You play in and out every single official stream you do.
Yeah. It's hard, but I'm going to go with Santeria by Sublime. It's one of those songs that I can't ever not smile when I hear it. Whenever I play it, I play guitar on Friday nights at a little restaurant in my neighborhood. Every single time I play it, people always turn around and they smile or they give a thumbs up. It's just one of those songs that almost everybody loves. And so if I'm playing a song like that coming out of the bullpen, everyone's smiling and dancing and having a good time. So that's my song. I love that question, by the way. That's awesome.
Would you play yourself out of the bullpen and like ride out in a little bullpen cart?
It's actually a really good idea. You know what I mean? If we could set up the infrastructure, I might have to do something like that. But I wouldn't sing. I'm only I play. I'm not a singer. So, you know, it would be partial playing, but I'd have to get someone else behind me to be singing the lyrics.
Sounds good.
Well, I don't know about the rest of you, what your walk-up songs or play-out songs would be, but it's always a cool question. Gets you to know kind of the musical tastes of people as well. And any other questions from the affiliates before we let Rich go?
Your latest in the morning, or earliest in the morning phone call with Korea?
3:00 in the morning.
That's not bad.
Oh, I should take your job then. That sounds great.
Well, if I didn't also have the 7:00 in the morning calls with Germany, it would be a little easier. It's
Oh yeah, that makes it a little tough.
That's just like
I will never complain about this job. It is a global job, and it feels like only in the year 2023 could we do it. But I wake up in the early morning, and it's about 11 or noon in Germany, and then through the day I go from Germany to working with people in New York City, and then working with people in Los Angeles, and working with them in Seoul. So it is very much a follow the sun kind of a job, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's really challenging, but it's really wonderful, and I work with a bunch of great people, and so you'll never hear me complain about having to take a phone call at any time. Never.
Excellent. Any other questions for Rich? I guess I have to ask, as a Canadian streamer and Tetsuiji, and we've got a few other Canadian. I think Exto is a Canadian streamer as well.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. So, have you ever been to Canada, Rich? And if so, where have you been to?
Oh, I've been to Canada many times. I've been to Toronto a dozen times. Been to the Hockey Hall of Fame. I have been to Quebec City, which is way up there. I did not realize how far north Quebec City was until I got there. I was like, wow, this is far. But
There's a reason the hockey team was called the Nordiques, Rich.
Yes, and they still have many jerseys and hats and T-shirts in all of the shops. And I've also been to Winnipeg as well. So I've been to a number of Canadian cities. The ones I have not been are Montreal and Vancouver. Those are sort of the two that I have not been to yet. But no, I've been to Canada a bunch of times, and every single time I've enjoyed it. And I have a number of Canadian friends as well, not just the Canadian streamers here, but also a bunch of people I've worked with both currently and in the past. So I am a big fan of Canada.
Excellent. Good. Yeah. If you ever make your way out west into Alberta, BC, beautiful, beautiful part of Canada, Jasper, Banff National Parks, and British Columbia. Yeah. Extremely beautiful as well. Much different. I mean, when you go to every province is almost like coming into a different country sometimes, because the landscape and even the people are quite different from region to region. Last chance for any questions for Rich. Not seeing any in the chat either. Have Rich fill in for the stretch time after that Korea call. There you go. Yeah.
It'd be a little tough.
If you ever want to stream at 3 a.m., Rich, feel free. I'm sure you'd have an audience for that.
Of course, I always do. And let me just say, I cannot thank you, Laptop Hound, and all of you that are here today. All of the guys. You know, I Rock This, Your Kidneys, Exafirst, Taswiji, EVC, Gorgo, Yukarin Kazami, Dr. Dynastic. You guys, I cannot tell you how proud I am that I can tell all of the various people that I work for and with that the incredible streamer affiliates and the community around the streaming, I'm always talking about how wonderful that you guys are and how critical you are to the success of this game. Out of the Park Baseball is not MLB The Show. It's not MLB 9 Innings, right? It's a small little niche in our world, and the support that the streamer affiliates give to Out of the Park Baseball is wildly important to our ability to make the game and deliver the game and do what we do. And so not only what you do just when you do your regular streams, but this streamathon that you're doing today, I cannot express my gratitude enough to all of you for doing this. And I want to say how proud I am that you guys do this and how proud I am that you do it for Out of the Park Baseball and for the community. So I thank you. I cannot thank you enough. And I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that to all of you individually and collectively. We appreciate what you do so very much. And we would not be here doing all of the great things without you and the support of the community. And I don't mince my words. It's critical what you guys do to our ability to do what we do. So thank you very much.
Well, and I think collectively I can speak for us affiliates. We want to, thank you for everything that you give, not only to us, the support that OOTP gives us and you give us personally, but the community that you provide. You're streaming again, which the community really loves to see you back on stream. And it's good to see, again, a familiar face a little bit more often. And I guess I'll leave you with this question, Mr. Grisham, is everyone has personal goals. And in terms of personal goals for you, just for OOTP 24, do you have a goal that you're kind of shooting for in terms of gameplay or how you want to approach the game this year?
I want by summer, I just want to see as many people playing as many different parts of this game as possible. And the reason I say by summer is because every single year it takes 60 to 75 days to get everything that we have perfectly tuned and up and running. But for you guys, as it is for me now, again, now that I have been able to get back into playing the game on a daily basis, it becomes a lifestyle. And so my goal is for, by early summer, for everyone to just be like, oh, all right, I'm going to turn on my Out of the Park. I'm going to set my perfect team lineup today. All right, going to hop into a couple of tournaments. All right, going to do my perfect team draft for my dailies or my weeklies. All right, now let me hop into league. Okay, let me rip a few packs. Let me set up my squad. Let me go get that closer I've been looking for. By the way, thank you, Magus, for the Billy Wagner recommendation. He's been absolutely critical. All right, let me go ahead. Let me do a live start today, and let me run a simulation of the Mets game 162 times, see who's going to win that game. All right, it just when there's so much to do in the game that it becomes part of your daily lifestyle. That's what I'm looking forward to, not just for myself, but for the conversations that go around that. One of my favorite things about what you all do as streamer affiliates is you all play different parts of the game. It's such a big game. And whenever I introduce people, just last night I was in a meeting introducing somebody brand new to the game, someone who knew about it but had never jumped in. And I went through about an hour-long demonstration of all the different parts. And every time I do that, they go, wow, there's a lot going on here. And I said, well, if you're curious, our streamer affiliates happen to be doing like a 39-hour streamathon tomorrow. So there's lots of opportunities for you to hop on and see what's going on in the game. So long-winded, and I hate being long-winded, but I'm looking forward to when just part of every single day, you're just getting up, you're setting your perfect team lineup, you're checking out your league squad, you're drafting team, like it just becomes ingrained as all those different parts of the game are just something you're going to do, but not as anything other than for the pure joy of experiencing baseball in a way that, as I tell everybody that will listen, Out of the Park is a unique product. I don't like to call it a product. I like to call it an experience, but it's a unique experience that offers people something that they can't get anywhere else the way that the game delivers it. So I look forward to when everything is completely up and running and tuned and it's a thing that you do as a daily basis as part of the rhythm of your day.
Rich, you forgot about waking up in the middle of the night and joining tournaments on Go.
Oh, I haven't forgotten that. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, Go is really. It's nice that we've been able to get it out so much sooner this year because you're right. It gives you an extra way to do exactly what you said. Hop in that tournament, do a little bit of a perfect draft. For that one you couldn't get to it. We were really, really excited to be able to get Go delivered much sooner than we have in the past because we know that it adds a lot to the experience. Go, a lot of people ask me about Go. To me, Go is not so much a way to increase the audience, although it is, but really, to me, it's a way to really complement the existing, group of people who play the game and bring more people to the base game. And we're really happy it's out there now and not in June or July, which is in the past. That's the soonest we've been able to get it out the door.
All right. Well, thank you once again, Rich, for joining us on this Streamathon. This is always, a big moment. The Christmas one that we did was successful, and I've noticed, and I think a lot of affiliates have noticed the boom in users. I'm hoping that more people are in the community now. It seems like a lot more are playing OOTP, and like you said, you just introduced someone to it the other day as well. So thank you so much, Rich, for joining us. Have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on stream.
Yeah. Thank you again, everybody. Love you guys. Appreciate what you do more than anything. Thank you.
Yeah, take care.
Cheers.
All right. Well, let's go through, guys, and talk a little bit about what is coming up on your streams. Again, it is going to be a busy couple of days. I think we've got almost every hour covered now, other than, a little bit of downtime where it doesn't really fit many of us. Gorgo is up in about 15 minutes. And then we've got EVC in NYC. So tell the new people to the stream what they can expect from you today.
Hey, everybody, it's EVC and NYC, but in Chicago today. So the Windy City is proving a little windy, a little cool. We're hoping to get some Dodgers Cubs games in Wrigley Field Thursday and Friday. Today, I'm going to be streaming my Guess the Set. So it's our contest we do every week, every Wednesday. Luckily, we know what the content was yesterday, so I've been able to get my slides going. We're going to talk about a bunch of different players that might be coming in tomorrow's card set at noon Eastern time, and we'll have an entire we'll have a forum you fill out. You can guess 8 of the players that might come out tomorrow. If you win the most, then you're going to win the contest, winning packs and a copy of OOTP for whatever platform you want to. So that's coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern, a little earlier this week than usual. Usually it's at 5 o'clock Eastern, and that's 3 o'clock Central Time. So I've got, 2 more hours to get slides together?
Yeah, you better get moving there, EVC in Chicago.
My fingers are working now. I'm pulling stats in from Fangraphs today. So,
all right. Well, thank you so much again, EVC, for popping in with us today and having the conversation we did with Rich. And all the best on your stream in a few hours. All right, let's move on. Next, after EVC, we will have I Rock This coming up. May or may not have the Cats with him today. So I Rock This. What can we expect on your stream today?
That is a very good question. I am not sure. I have still been trying to figure it out. Last night, I had a really good run in a live draft, so I was thinking about going through that a little bit, talking about drafting. There's a cat for you, by the way. I'm also probably thinking I might just pull some tournament data and go through that, start coming through that together. Trying to get some gold data in addition to the irons I've already done, just because my PAX only team's running gold. So want to get that data. And 2 hours, if I try to stream a franchise mode for 2 hours, I will get about 5 days into the season before I have to end stream.
All right. And notice on the schedule here, iRock, this is going to be on a couple times. He's going to fill in a couple of the different positions here. So he'll be on tonight from 6 to 8 p.m. And then he will be taking one of those late night shifts. So he'll be coming on early Thursday morning from midnight to 2 a.m. So thank you, iRock, this for being part of the Streamathon. And we'll catch you in a few hours. After that, we have Yukarin Kazami. Couldn't join us today because work gets in the way sometimes for some people, as it did with DA186, who wanted to be part of the Streamathon. And then we have Your Kidneys. Your Kidneys will be on a few times. Yes, Your Kidneys is scheduled to be on at least 2 times, plus the Hawk Report. So let's hear a little bit from Your Kidneys and what you have planned for today.
So, I have a little announcement for today. You can directly thank the Laptop Hound for this as well. So I'm going to open, I had it open and then I closed it because I forgot, but I have it right here. So on April 13th this year at 5:12 p.m., I got a DM from Laptop Hound that says, you totally should do your sheet reveal on stream. You would get a lot of people watching in anticipation and setting their alarms. So I will announce now that at my first stream at 12 p.m. Eastern time, we will be debuting the spreadsheets. Pitching and hitting will be done for gold tournaments. There are a bunch of new exciting features I've spent the past week not sleeping working on. And we'll be going over those. We'll be going over those. Probably over full streams, but as soon as my stream is out at 10 p.m., they'll be live. I'll have links everywhere to where you can get them. If you're unfamiliar, you don't know what the spreadsheets look like and everything, you probably don't want to miss it. I'm very proud of all the stuff I've put into this and a lot of new features and things. So I've been dropping a few teasers. Nobody got Wednesday Addams. I'm really disappointed in all the older people. Nobody knew what Wednesday Addams was referring to. But, that's fine. Yeah, it'll be a good time.
All right. Yes, set your alarms, 10 o'clock, 10 to midnight, and then Your Kidneys will be doing his primetime show from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Eastern time. So maybe leave one of your sheets until then. All right. Exto 4S will be taking the 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. And what do you have planned for the watchers that may be up early in the morning, Exto?
Well, with the reveal of Kidney Sheet, we'll probably be going through that and comparing with what I have and to give options. Kidneys does good work. And basically, it's going to be wake up, see what tournaments are open, what tournaments need to build teams for, and taking a look at data that I have. And with the Nerds United group, which is Durden and Aster, we've been doing a lot of work last year talking about cap tournaments and era tournaments. So depending on what's open and what needs to be built, that's probably what we're going to be focusing on.
Excellent.
What I'm going to be focusing on.
Yes, starting to see Exto stream a lot more, which is really cool because, again, as Rich mentioned, all of us provide such a variety of different content, and that's unusual in a sports game. Usually it's, very similar content throughout, but with us affiliates, there is quite the variety. And then Tesuiji has a couple shifts. He will be on tomorrow from 10 a.m. until noon, and then later on tomorrow from 5 until 7 with a couple streams. What do you got for us, Tesuiji?
The long-awaited return of my Colorado Rockies franchise restart, the Flying Purple Baseball Beaters, will be present for both of those streams. Any Japanese baseball fans, wait for the Chiba Pirates in Project Isekai no Yaku and the Saturday Seafarers on Saturday. I'm going to keep that there. We're also going to be drafting my team for the TWIP Weekly Showdown and doing a giveaway based on how many Bobs show up in my perfect draft roster. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and how you'll be able to earn some packs in addition to the drops on Thursday. I'm really looking forward to it. I miss my guys. I miss Ken Griffey.
All right. Yes, we look forward to that, and so much great content coming up. Well, guys, I think that will do it for now. We have Gorgo coming up in less than 10 minutes, and I have a giveaway I have to do, and right in a hard break here as well. So perfect time to kind of end off with this kickoff show. Thank you guys for joining in. Tune in to Tessouiji, EVC in Chicago, Your Kidneys, Exto4S, I Rock This, You Karin Kazami, Gorgo, Dr. Dynastic, and FKN Kamish, LB tomorrow night. Thanks, guys, for joining in. Have a successful show today or tomorrow.
Thanks, Laptop Hound. Be well.
Bye.
Thanks for putting this all together, man. Really appreciate it.
Okay. Yes. Wow. What an exciting day. What an exciting couple of days. Again, over 400 of you here, hopefully ready to get involved in this contest that's coming up. We are on a break for some of you right now, getting some ads. We will do the contest right after the ads end. Some of you are seeing them, some of you are not seeing them. I know subscribers don't see ads, so we got kind of a mix of people right now. So that's going to give me about a minute to set the contest up here. And then when the ads are over, we will get this done. Thanks again to Mr. Rich Grisham for stepping in with very little warning to come on the show today. And huge, huge shout out to all the affiliates that made time in the last hour to come on stream as well.